Sup nerds, you guys want to see a dead body? Today we have Magnamon X DNA versus Ancient Omni. Brandon starts off by hatching Wanya, even going to Gabu, and then playing Matt and Sora. We actually have our first chat here. Chris forgets to draw for turn. We'll see if that matters. He hatches Digimon. Evo's into Wormmon. Then plays Wormmon, scourges top 3. Adds the Vmon. Yeah, him not grabbing the Magnex means he must already have one in his hand. Then plays the Vmon, scourges top 3 again. Adds the Pyodramon. Then we have another Chet here. Chris thinks that adds 2 cards, so he adds the Paladin mode as well. Even though that is a Chet, we'll just say that makes up for him not drawing for turn. Brandon promotes. Asks Chris cards in hand. Chris has 6. Brandon swings the Gabu, draws from Wanya, 1k. Dies. Plays Analog, scourges top 3, adds a Gabu, trashes the rest. And then plays Miraculous for 2, plays Drabu, and draws a card from Drabu's effect. And sets Chris to 2. Alright, Chris promotes. Evo's into Lydra for 2, suspends the Gabu. Evo's into Togemogu for 2, triggers end of turn to DNA. DNA's into Dino B, swings over the Gabu. And then Brandon's turn at 2, he hatches Wanyamon. Evo's into Gabu. And then plays Matt for 3 to choke Chris to 1. Chris hatches Dimi V. Evo's into Wormmon. Yeah, there's no jamming on that stack, so it is a little scary to swing in security. Alright, Chris just Evo's into Magnex for 4, triggers his effect, plus 3k, immune AF. Brandon's turn at 3, he promotes. Gains memory and draws a card from Matt, draws another card from Gabu. And they both have 8 cards in hand. Brandon does gain 2 memory from the Matt and Sora now to go to 6. Alright, and he plays Ty and Matt for 4. Plays Wargreymon for 8, triggers Wargrey to warp the Gabu into Melga, triggers Melga to stun the board, the Magnex and the Wormmon. Taps Ty and Matt to gain 2 memory. And then Brandon chooses not to DNA into Omni, which is wise. So now Chris's Magnex is stunned. He does promote the Wormmon. Until he gains immunity on it, it will not be able to suspend due to the Melga's effect. So he Evo's into XV for 2. Evo's into Togemogu for 2. Gonna get some DNA action here. DNA's into Pyodra. Suspends both and stuns Brandon's board for his next turn. And we actually have another Chet here. Chris should have gained a memory off the XVmon. Question is, do you think he has the Omni? I mean, even if he does, it's not even the end of the world. Assuming you have another level 5 in your hand. Because you do have Partition. So he swings, jamming, and suspends. And Brandon does not have the Omni. I guess he was just trying to bluff it. Magnex does trigger. Plus 3k immune. Now it can suspend. Chris swings again, jamming. And then swings over the Melga. And then triggers the Dino B inheritable to trash top security of Brandon. Trashes the Louie. Then we have another Chet here. Let's go. He triggers the Magnex for a second time this turn. Cool, I guess. Swings over the Wargreymon now. Okay, didn't try to trigger the Dino B inheritable again at least. And he plays Vmon, scourges top 3, adds another Magna X, bot decks the rest. Brandon's turn at 3, he hatches Wanya. They should both have 8 cards in their hand, so Brandon should go to 5 here. He Evo's into Dragumon. There we go. Yeah, they catch it. So he goes to 5 from the Matt and Sora. Plays Analog, scourges top 3, adds Melga, trashes the rest. Alright, and Brandon does scoop. There's nothing he's going to be able to do, and Chris is threatening lethal on his turn. So Chris does take game 1. By the way, if you guys enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. And if you're interested in the Magnamon X DNA deck profile, link for that will be in the pinned comment below. And if you're interested in the original Ancient Omni deck profile, link for that will also be in the pinned comment below. And if you're interested in joining our community Discord, link for that will also be in the pinned comment below. Alright, Brandon chooses to go first for game 2, hatches Wanya. Evo's into Gabu. And then plays Ty and Matt for 4. Chris hatches Dimi V. Evo's in a Worm. Little Dennis Rodman. Evo's an XV for 2. Plays Worm, Scourges top 3. Max value here, that's pretty nice. Adds the Davis and Ken and the Togemogumon. And Brandon turn at 1, he promotes. Draws a card from Gabu. Swing Security, draws from Wanya. Dies. Plays Analog, Scourges top 3. Adds the Melga, trashes the rest. Chris's turn at 1, he promotes. I would imagine we're getting a Pyodramon. Evo's in a Togemogu for 2, triggers end of turn to DNA. Gains memory from XV, Evo's into Pyodramon. So this does stun Brandon's board. If for some reason he puts a Digimon on his field and suspends it on his turn, he cannot unsuspend it during his next turn, because Pyodramon is fair and balanced. So Chris does swing, jamming, and then he'll unsuspend. Survives. Swings again. Miraculous Mega Knight plays Matt and Sora for free. Cool. And then goes to Brandon's hand. And then Chris Evo's into Magna X, triggers the effect, unsuspends, plus 3k, immune AF. Brandon hatches Wanya. Plays Miraculous. And we're checking the card. Okay, they actually both have 8 cards, so Brandon does go to 6 at the start of the main phase. Now he'll activate Miraculous. Play Gabu back. Evo's into Drawboo and Raising. I'm curious why he did that first, if he already had the rookie in his hand, but oh well. Alright, and Brandon warps into Melga, stuns the Magna X, taps Matt, or Tad and Matt to gain a memory. And plays Matt for 3. Chris's turn at 2, hatches Demi V. Evo's in a V. And plays Davis and Ken. Brandon's turn at 2, he promotes. Gains memory, draws a card from Matt. Gains 2 memory from Matt and Sora. Plays Analog, Scourges top 3. Adds the Korikaku, trashes the rest. Alright, Brandon warps into Melga again. Taps Ty and Matt to gain a memory. And stuns the Magnex and the Davis and Ken. And what sucks here is, so Brandon can swing, obviously, but the issue is as soon as he checks that security, the Magnex is immune. So he wouldn't be able to swing again. I mean, I guess he could swing the first time. The immunity would still wear off at the end of the turn. So actually, I think swinging once would be correct here. Yep, okay, good. Swings and suspends and draws from Wanya. Chris triggers the effect, so it's not stunned right now, but it will be at the end of the turn. Honestly, if I were Brandon, I would swing with the one that hasn't swung yet, because you'll swing unsuspend, and then even if he blocks, you get to evade, and then the Magnex will stay suspended, then you can get another check in for 12k with that Melga. And you're safe here. I mean, you die to like 6 cards in that deck, potentially. Barring removal options, of course, so I think it's probably a safe swing. And I would want to get him down as quickly as possible and just try to kill him around the Magna X, which is the only way you're going to be able to win, obviously. Alright, Brandon plays Miraculous for 2 for no effects. Alright, so Chris does promote, triggers Davis and Ken. Plays the Vmon. Evo's an XV for 1 memory. Evo's an Elijahmon for 2, triggers end of turn to DNA, gains memory from the XV. Pyodramon suspends both. They can't unsuspend, very cool. This is really bad. So he swings security, draws a card from Vmon, unsuspends, he has jamming. If Brandon has Wargrey and Omnimon, I mean, this is, I wouldn't say a blowout, but I mean, he could at least defend himself here. He clearly doesn't. So as the check swings again, draws from Vmon. And he does play, or he attempts to play Primo for 2 memory. To Evo and a Magnex to unsuspend. Brandon here is like, why are you BMing me? You can just swing twice with your Magnex, which is not correct, because in order to swing for the first time, it does need to trigger its immunity, so he wouldn't be able to get a double swing off here, much like the turn that he lethaled Brandon on the previous game. But Brandon's like, yeah, you just swing twice with the Magnex and it's game. Yeah, and then Brandon just draws the next couple of cards. So Chris does take the match 2-0. Brandon would have gotten an extra turn there, but I honestly don't think it would have mattered. But I appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing this kind of content. Want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.